Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So we had 3 consecutive inflow days. Yesterday was a big one too, mostly from BlackRock. 131 million from BlackRock. Total 165 million. So between the last 3 days, we're talking about $1 billion. $1 billion worth of inflow. Okay, so it's not just Saylor that knows this. Inflation is not a good thing. It robs people of their buying power. And over time, over a decade, you're going to be losing a whole lot if you don't buy an asset that appreciates, right? Or appreciates faster than inflation, I should say. You have to hold something better. And speaking of strategy, their new fixed income stock comes out called Stride. They already have Strife and Strike and now Stride. It's getting quite confusing to keep track of all of them. They have different kind of fixed income, basically like a dividend that you're getting. But the whole point is Saylor wants more Bitcoin. He raised $1 billion from this. And guess where that's going? Bitcoin, right? So he is going all out on Bitcoin accumulation. And I can't say that's a bad thing. If we knew what he knew, maybe we would all do the same. And we would just go crazy for Bitcoin. Although most of us are doing that already, but not to his extent. Not to the extent of actually raising billions and billions and billions to buy more Bitcoin. But hey, it may make him the first trillionaire or one of the first trillionaires on the planet soon within the next 10 years or so. Brazil is another country thinking about making Bitcoin or making a Bitcoin reserve. That's pretty big. Brazil is a big country, a big population, and they need it. Their currency isn't doing all that well. Overall, all currencies are not going to do well because they keep on inflating. Even the USD, even though the USD has been the strongest for the last 100-something plus years as a reserve currency of the world, but eventually it's going to collapse too. No matter how hard the Fed tries to save things, eventually it's going to collapse. Eventually something better is going to come along and replace it as a reserve currency. And that's due to this inflation that I've been talking about. Because governments will always print and always borrow and always accrue more debt. And that cycle never, ever ends until it crushes their system. Look at this. We got another fintech company that is going to raise $800 million to buy Bitcoin. Like I've been saying, every single day you get another company, another new company with existing companies loading up. More and more are following Saylor's footsteps. More and more are learning about Bitcoin. More and more are coming in. It's not going to stop. $800 million for Bitcoin. That's a lot. And then you got others. ANAP Holdings from Japan. Stacks a little bit more. Added 50 Bitcoin. Now they're up to 153. This is in addition to like Remix Point and obviously MetaPlanet. So there are many, many, many that are accumulating at this point, right? As for our current run, even though today we did down slightly, very, very slight, we are still getting ready for that next leg up. And there are still many metrics that show that. CAGR, which is the compound annual growth rate hits 31%. But what does that mean? What does that mean, 31%? Well, it means that a bull run is coming, because in previous times when this figure has hit, it's signaling a great move. Just like the funding rate right now. The funding rate is negative territory. That means not a whole lot of people are longing or even shorting at this point. Okay? And normally speaking, this is a sign that a great move is happening. Because if we were already in a great move, funding rate would not be negative, it would be positive, because a lot of people would be playing with derivatives and playing with leverage. But right now, not so much. Again, this is another signal. It's hard to read, but another signal that people are waiting, people are expecting this next big move to come. And it does make sense because the reserves keep going down. Obviously, with all that buying I've been talking about, it has to come somewhere. Just look at that. The reserves keep dropping, and they're dropping faster than ever. It's not coming back up. No one's depositing their Bitcoin into the reserves. It just keeps on outflowing. So, increase buying, decrease supply, you know what's happening, right? Here's an example. If you're looking at a chart, this golden cross on a daily chart. Last time it happened, it was in October of 2024. The golden cross happened, and then we waited a week or so, maybe a couple weeks. Didn't see a whole lot of movement, and then boom. We went from the mid 60s to over $100,000, a 50% move. A 50% move weeks after that golden cross. So are we going to see the same thing? Well, there have been a lot of predictions about our next leg up. Where will that be? Well, if we did a 50% move, I think you guys could do the math. That'll put us around 150, 160,000. And that's what this chart is showing, that we're in a bullish pennant. And when we break out, what is the next stop? 167,000. Although many other charts show like 130, 140, 150, right? But it's all lining up. So that next move, hey, it's got to be patient. It's going to come just like all previous times. Most of you guys lived through last year. Remember how sideways we went, or how long we went sideways, from basically February of 2024 all the way to October 2024. You could even see in this chart. You could say we were going sideways, but we also dipped down a little bit. So how many months was that? 8 months of sideways movement. A lot of people could have got out then. A lot of people probably did get out. But those that got out missed a 50+% gain shortly afterwards. This is why you want to stay in the game. You want to continue to hodl and DCA.